morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a chat about some news that's coming around for the Pokemon TCG, some stuff you might not be aware of, but I think you do need to be aware of. So hopefully in this video, I'm going to make you aware of it. Sound like a plan? Excellent. Starting off with someone we kind of knew was coming, but it is always nice to have the confirmation. The Prismatic Evolutions official Ultra Pro binders. They're coming! Or portfolios, I think is a term they actually use. But I'm calling them binders, because I think binder is a better word. And you're going to think these look a little bit familiar, because as is generally the case when we have these official binders, they are using the booster pack artwork from the booster packs. The official booster pack artwork gets taken and whacked onto these binders and jobs are good 'em. Except that one really weird time during Astral Radiance where, and I've given you this prediction before, but it's the only thing I can possibly think happened, the license to use the booster pack artwork ran out. And they couldn't redo it in time, so both the 4 and the 9 pocket binder just looked like this. Remember, Astral Radiance was very much a Legends Arceus themed set. So you basically had your first partner Pokemon from Legends Arceus with identical 4 and 9 pocket binders with the worst artwork we've basically ever seen because it was incredibly dull. And then for the next set, Lost Origin, we're straight back. And it's exactly like we expected. But we had that one weird time where just for exactly one set, they appeared to have lost the license and then kind of had to figure out getting it back, but couldn't get it back in time. I say figure it out. They almost certainly just, it ran out and then it goes, something happened and it just took a little bit longer. But that is still one of the weirdest things that I've seen in the past few years of covering the Pokemon trading card game. The fact that for one set, they just didn't have booster pack artwork. So they had the most bland, generic binders you've ever seen, and those lovely Astral Radiance booster packs never got binders. Not the case, good news, for Prismatic Evolutions, where we absolutely do have them. Obviously, Eevee is on the front of the 9 pocket binder. General rule is the biggest Pokemon gets on the front of the 9 pocket. So we've got Eevee and Sylveon on the front of the 9 pocket, and then your Gen 1 Evolutions on the back. Your Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. Again, pretty predictable, it's a Gen 1ers. And then in the 4 pocket binder, you've got Umbreon and Espeon on the front, and Leafeon and Glaceon on the back. Yes, that basically does confirm, and we all knew it anyway, let's be honest, but that does basically confirm that Leafeon and Glaceon are the least popular of the evolutions. Feel free to be upset about this. I know some people will be, some people love them. I think they're pretty cool, truth be told. But yeah, that's just where we are, ladies and gentlemen. They are the least popular, and there's very little we can do about it. But we've got a real good theme going on with the Prismatic Evolutions, just generally, the booster packs and everything else. So having these is going to be pretty cool. But maybe we immediately need to come up with a counter-argument, because remember that in addition to this, we've also got the actual binder collection from Prismatic Evolutions, which has got just Eevee on the front. Now, I know design-wise it might not be quite as cool in terms of the actual image on the binder, but I'm telling you right now that the general binders we get every set, I don't use these. They're cool and I've used them in the past, but I'm not a big fan. I don't like how they hold your cards. Whereas the ones you get in the binder collections, we saw this with 151 for instance, they're side-loading, they're much higher quality, they're much better for actually storing your cards. So I'm going to get a bunch of Prismatic Evolutions binder, portfolio, phrase it how you will, but I'm actually going to be going for the one in the binder collection, not the ones you go and buy separately. So, sorry about that. But regardless, these ones are coming out. They will be released on the 17th of January, which is, of course, the original release date for Prismatic Evolutions. The set is actually still got new products coming out in September of next year, but the actual, proper original release date is the 17th of January, so that's when we get our... that's when we get these binders coming out. Cool. if you're after these, I know there are a bunch of people that have been wondering. Well, wonderful news, they are coming. What else is coming? And this is very niche, but I think extremely cool. We have got new sleeves for the Pokemon Card Lounge in Shibuya, which, I'll be honest with you, they look quite similar to the old sleeves that we have found in the Pokemon Card Lounge Shibuya, but they are still extremely cool. They are amongst some of the coolest sleeves we've seen, and I stand by these. Now, this is where it gets a little bit awkward, because these sleeves are not available online. They cannot be bought from the Pokemon Center. They are only available from the Pokemon Card Lounge in Shibuya. Hence why they say Pokemon Card Lounge on them. That's the only place they can be bought. Which I know is a little bit awkward, alright? But if you're looking for cool exclusive sleeves, this is about the coolest you can get. Now, I did actually go to the Pokemon Card Lounge in Shibuya in August, when I went to Japan on the way to the World Championships in Hawaii. If you're going to take an awkward trip to Hawaii, you might as well go via Japan, is all I'm saying. And it's awesome. Basically, what the Pokemon Card Lounge is, it's a lounge, right, where you go and play Pokemon cards. But they also have a bunch of merch for sale, which is exclusive merch, which can only be bought in person at the Shibuya Pokemon Card Lounge. If anyone thinks I'm wrong about that, do correct me in the comment section, but I'm pretty sure it has to be bought at the Pokemon Card Lounge in Shibuya. And then they've also got, like for instance, when I was there in August, I could not find Japanese packs of 151 anywhere. They just weren't in stock. They were sold out everywhere. And then I went to the Pokemon Card Lounge in Shibuya, and they sold me 2 booster boxes. They're like, oh yeah, we got it in stock, but it's limited to 2 boxes each. And they did open the boxes. You didn't even get the box. You just got the packs loose. But I was opening them, so I was like, sweet, that's a phenomenal deal for me. And then I got 2 boxes of 151. It was awesome. If you ever find yourself in Tokyo, go to Shibuya, go to the Pokemon Card Lounge. It's like a 5-10 minute walk max from the Pokemon Center in Shibuya. Go down the hill to Shibuya Crossing, and it's right off the main Shibuya Crossing there. And it's awesome, frankly. It's a great place to go. Now we've got new merch. And just for the future, it is worth pointing out that this is probably going to keep happening now. Like, there were 2 ways they could have gone with this. They could have gone, okay, we have these sleeves and deck box and all of that. This is what is for sale at the Card Lounge in Shibuya. We're not updating it. We're not changing it. We're only selling it here, but we are basically always going to sell it here. Or they could have gone the other way and gone, right, we got this exclusive merch, but we're going to swap it out every so often, so you've got to come back semi-regularly if you want to pick it all up. Well, that very much seems to be what they're doing here, and I, for one, think this is an awesome thing to do. But we might as well finish off with something a bit less exclusive, something we've not had a chance to chat about yet, and you have my apologies for that. So let's go and chat about it now. What we've got, there's Generations decks I showed you the other day, where there's a new deck coming out for every generation of Pokemon, where you get 2 EXs, and they're just kind of awesome. Yeah, well, it turns out they're all getting sleeves, featuring that key art I showed you previously, featuring the 2 EXs from each generation, and they are going to be sold as of the 22nd of November, and these are going to be ones that are, sold on the Pokemon Center online and in official stores and all of that. So these are going to be much less rare, much less exclusive, but I can't just tell you about super rare and exclusive stuff now, can I? That would be boring. So we've got our Gen 1 sleeves featuring Snorlax and Pikachu, which might be my favourite of them, honestly. I've not pre-ordered any of these yet. I might need to rethink that. We've got the Gen 2 sleeves featuring your Tyranitar and Lugia, although you'll notice there are some other little Pokemon hiding around there. Your Gen 3 sleeves feature Blaziken and Kyogre. This one is also just phenomenal. Gen 4 sleeves feature Dialga and Lucario, and I know the location they're in is iconic, but considering how much I love Gen 4, this is not my favourite of these sleeves. Gen 5 features Reshiram and Amoonguss on Sky Arrow Bridge. And I actually don't love these sleeves either, and Gen 5 is probably my favourite generation. Never mind. Gen 6 features Xerneas and Noivern doing Xerneas and Noivern things. Gen 7 I am absolutely in love with. These feature Tapu Koko and Mimikyu. And Gen 7 again is a generation for which I have a lot of love, but we did just do Worlds in Hawaii, so maybe I'm biased. Gen 8, you've got Zacian and Alchemy, which again, I think these are some of the weaker sleeves. And then Gen 9, you've got the amazing sleeves featuring Koraidon and Paldean Clodsire. So if you want to be joining in with these generations, the sleeves are available. And the thing to remember about this is, they're not going to be released in the West. Like, we'll get all of the cards from generations, right? We're going to get all of the EXs and everything else. But we're not going to get the sleeves. And what that means is that if you love these Pokemon, if you're after these kind of sleeves, etc., this is what you need to do. Like, you need to be getting them from Japan. So the binders I showed you earlier from Prismatic Evolutions are not going to be very rare at all. They'll be very easy to find. But I'm not sure how much I actually want them. We've then got new sleeves for the Shibuya Pokemon Card Lounge, which are amazing, but going to be a pain to get hold of. And then we've got ourselves a rather lovely set of generation sleeves, which you have to import them from Japan, but it's not going to be the hardest thing ever. A bit of a weirder news update today of a bunch of little things that have come around, but things I think you need to know about, but now you do know about them. So now I can move on with my day. But for now, I want to know what you think about all of this, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Stegaraptor, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now, is a very lovely person, so shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.